Guys, what is going on? Thank you for being patient, and we are live. Welcome to my live review for tonight's edition of Raw. We're going to take a look and break down everything that took place on the March 5th, 2018 edition of Raw. We are less than 34 days until WrestleMania 34. And I have to say, I really enjoyed tonight's edition of Raw. As you can tell, my voice is a little hoarse. I also had a Penguin game to watch. They came back and won it, tied it up, went to overtime, 1-4-3. So Raw was good. The Pens won. What more could I ask for? I thought this was a very solid edition of Raw that built nicely towards WrestleMania 34. Felt like it touched on all the matches that it needed to. We got match announcements. And to me, this is what an episode of Raw should do heading into your biggest show of the year. It should get you excited. It should make you want to count down the days until WrestleMania 34. And that is exactly what happened. And this is a nice rebound for Raw because I have to say last week I wasn't really a fan of that show. I thought it was just average. I thought it was just okay. But tonight, I thought it was a nice show, a good show, a solid show. These shows going in need to be a B or A level. C, okay, I'll take here and there, but these need to be your best efforts going forward. So if you're watching in the live chat, be sure to comment as we go through this entire episode of Raw because we certainly have a lot of ground to cover. I'll try and do my best and not lose my voice. So without further ado, let's talk about the opening segment. So we kick off here with Kurt Angle. He comes down to the ring and he's pissed off at Triple H for punching him in the face last week, or should I say the shoulder. And Kurt calls out Triple H and he wants a fight. And then Stephanie comes out and then she is just such a bitch that she threatens Kurt, with your family and you have a daughter and, you've won Olympic gold medals and you've been WWF champion and, you should just leave it at that and move on. And then Ronda Rousey comes down to the ring and, she pretty much calls Stephanie a bully boss, a bitch, who we all know that she is. And, based on the contract that she signed, Rousey said she can face anybody on the active roster. Steph's like, well, that includes anybody that's not a champion. And it doesn't include me because I'm an executive. However, Kurt made the point to Stephanie that, however, Steph, you're actually a member of the active roster. And then Triple H's music hit when it looks like it's going to be Stephanie and Ronda at WrestleMania. We all know where this is headed. Even though it is predictable, like I said, predictability can be a good thing. And in this instance, it was. And then eventually, like I said, we get the announcement of the mixed tag team match that we all knew was coming. It's going to be Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle taking on Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. Crowd goes nuts. Eventually, we have Triple H and Kurt Angle going at it. Stephanie and Ronda Rousey going at it. Angle tries to hit the pedigree on Kurt. Or Triple H tries to hit the pedigree on Kurt Angle. Angle eventually gets him in the ankle lock. And Rousey picks up Stephanie by her hair, drops her with a Samoan drop. So it was nice to finally get a one-up on Stephanie McMahon because that certainly, especially on this show, that does not happen that often. So I thought this was a really great opening segment. Surprised to see Stephanie and Ronda get physical. I thought maybe they would save that for WrestleMania. But this was great stuff. Great way to get the show off to races. And also shout out to my friend Donnie. He was in attendance tonight in Milwaukee. So shout out to Donnie. I had to give him one as I promised. So that was great. I can't wait for this mixed tag team match at WrestleMania. It is going to be lit. And from here we go to Asuka versus Nia Jax. Decent match here between Asuka and Nia Jax. Asuka had that armbar, that Asuka locked in on Nia Jax for a long time. Nia looked impressive in this match. There were some, botches early on, but I think Nia overall has been improving in the ring, and I'm glad to see her improve. What's going on Prime Time? Thank you for joining me. We're talking about Asuka, Nia Jax, but Nia continues to get better and better, and the way she was just able to pick Asuka up, that was impressive, the way she's able to use her size and her speed, And but like I said, once Asuka got that Asuka lock on, or the cross arm breaker, Nia Jax had no choice but to tap out. So Nia put up a good effort, but she once again falls short to Asuka. However, I still think Asuka faces Charlotte at WrestleMania for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And based on the segment backstage with Alexa Bliss ripping into Nia Jax and literally tears flowing from her eyes, that was great stuff right there. I would like to see Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss. I don't know how you get there. Maybe you do a triple threat on Raw between Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Nia Jax, and then have Nia win. You have Bayley and Sasha, and we'll touch on them, what happened tonight. Go on their own issues heading into WrestleMania. So we could be in store for 4 women's matches at WrestleMania with Asuka Charlotte, Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax, Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Ronda Rousey, and Stephanie McMahon, Triple H, Kurt Angle, the mixed tags. That would be great for the women. I think it would be the first time ever in WrestleMania history having 4 women's matches on the card. So that was good stuff right there. We move on from here. We have the Raw Tag Team Champions taking on the Bar. Or the Raw Tag Team Champions, the Bar, I should say, taking on the Revival. And if the Revival won, they would have faced the Bar at WrestleMania. It was a good match. However, Cesaro hit the Gotch neutralizer on Dash Wilder for the win. So the Bar won, and it makes you wonder, who the hell are they going to face at WrestleMania? It's not going to be the Revival. I was hoping it was going to be the Revival, but it ain't. If it ain't the Revival, I don't know. Guys in live chat watching, who do you think will face the Bar at WrestleMania 34? I was going to say the Hardy Boys, but it doesn't look. It looks like Matt is going to do his own thing with Bray Wyatt, and we'll talk about that. Maybe the Authors of Pain. I don't know. Unless you do champion versus champion, the Usos versus the Bar again. I'd be all for that. I mean, I don't know what else you have left to do. I mean, literally, they've run through everybody unless Anderson and Gallows. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, they did beat the Bar for the championships last year at the Royal Rumble, so I don't know what's going on there. But you could. But we'll have to see what direction they go in here. We have John Cena come down to the ring, cut a promo talking about how he went to SmackDown, got inserted into the fatal, or whatever it is, 6-pack challenge at Fastlane, beating AJ Styles, talking about how he wants to make it a triple threat at WrestleMania by becoming 17-time World Heavyweight Champion, beating Ric Flair's record, and making it a triple threat between Shinsuke Nakamura, AJ Styles, and John Cena at WrestleMania. Of course, gets a mixed reaction from the crowd. Eventually, Goldust comes out. And he said he always dreamed of sharing the silver screen with Cena, dreams of soaking in the WrestleMania spotlight. And the dream starts with Goldust stopping Cena from going to WrestleMania. Tonight, Cena's dreams will be shattered. And then he punches Cena. And then, of course, shortly after, I missed the match because I was watching the Penguin game. Goldust loses to Cena after Cena hits him with the AA. So I don't think that I'm not doing Fastlane predictions because I'm not watching Fastlane, but I got a special video in store for you. You'll like it. In place of my Fastlane review, I'll review it if it's a good show, but I am not watching it live. Just wanted to give you guys a heads up. I'm pretty much done with SmackDown Live. I ain't even going to SmackDown Live, and it's coming to Pittsburgh on the 27th of March. So that just goes to show you where I'm at with SmackDown Live. Going back to Fastlane, I don't think John Cena is going to win. I think it'll stay Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles. I think Cena will come close, but I think in the end, AJ Styles will beat John Cena. And this will once again play into the storyline of, does Cena have it anymore? Will he be able to make it onto the WrestleMania card? Which is kind of ludicrous at this point because it is John Cena. And we all know he's going to be on the WrestleMania card. And I think next Monday, I don't want to see it, but I know some people still do. I think the gong will hit and we'll get The Undertaker versus John Cena at WrestleMania 34. I'm holding out hope that we don't see Taker again, but if he does wrestle, I'm holding out hope that he can still deliver one more, last great match. I don't know, after last year, it doesn't look good. I mean, one way, and shout out to Solid Monster for this idea, you make that a career versus career match, the way to up the stakes between Cena and Taker. I like that idea a lot. I think that's the direction that they should go in. We have the announcement that Hillbilly Jim is going into the WWE Hall of Fame. So shout out to him. Congratulations on being in the next inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame. And it was surprising to me to see that Hulk Hogan's name was mentioned on the Hall of Fame video package. So perhaps you think maybe Hogan will be there at WrestleMania weekend, maybe inducting Hillbilly Jim. We'll have to see. We had Bayley come down to the ring to explain what happened last week between her and Sasha Banks in the 6-woman tag. Eventually, Mandy Rose, Paige, and Absolution, they all come out saying Deville. They mock Bayley. They make fun of her. This eventually leads to a match between Bayley and Mandy Rose. Decent match here between the two. Eventually, Bayley's able to counter into a gator roll for the win. Afterwards, Absolution beats down on Bayley. Almost said Paige. And then Sasha Banks comes down and makes the save. And it looks like, they're going to hug, they're going to embrace, but Bayley pushes Sasha Banks away. So I like to see where this is going between the two. I know for sure Sasha Banks has not turned heel yet. They've teased it, but what happened at Elimination Chamber was not a heel turn. I think the turn will happen either at WrestleMania, and they'll go in there, kind of like Ray and Eddie back in the day, just trying to prove between the two who's the best at WrestleMania. Perhaps you up the stakes by making a number one contenders match. And then therefore at the next pay-per-view, they will face whoever wins the women's championship match at WrestleMania. So I like the direction they're headed in for Bayley and Sasha Banks. I'd like to see them get a match here at WrestleMania. Like I said, I would be fairly certain to see that match added to the WrestleMania card. And then from here, we move on to the Symphony of Destruction match. Elias versus Braun Strowman. Elias comes out. He plays the piano, plays the drums. Then he figures, I'm getting the hell out of here. So he goes out to his car. Strowman holds the car up. He's holding it back. And Elias is just like, holy shit, I just can't escape this guy. He runs back into the arena. The match begins. Elias hits Strowman with a guitar. Tries to get him off his feet. But eventually Strowman tries to power slam Elias. And he hits running knee. Elias lands top rope elbow drop. Strowman kicks out after one. Elias tries to suplex. Easy for me to say Strowman, but he breaks it right up. Gets Elias out of the ring. He drags him up to the ramp, the entranceway, where they have the drums, the big bass, the double bass, the piano, and Strowman proceeds to beat the shit out of Elias. It looks like he's going to put him through the table. Grabs that damn big bass. He loves that bass. Breaks it over Elias. Plays the piano wonderfully. It was pretty bad. And then Strowman breaks the leg of the piano and crushes it onto Elias, pins him. And this was fun. Symphony of Destruction match. It's ludicrous, but hey, I love these scenarios that they come up with Braun Strowman. I hope he has a nice role on this show at WrestleMania. I don't know where that is. I don't want to see him in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. If Cena can't wrestle Samoa Joe, and if it isn't the Undertaker, what about Cena versus Braun Strowman? I don't know what you guys think. He needs a big role on this show. You should have one. It shouldn't just be the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I don't want to see him inserted into the Intercontinental Championship program. That should be a triple threat. We'll talk about that later. I think a good role for Elias, even though it means nothing, would be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I actually think him winning would be something I'd like to see if that match is even coming back. But I think Strowman, he was in it last year, give him a notable spot on this WrestleMania card. Perhaps facing Cena would be that. Robbie, thanks for joining me. Like I said, Strowman, I really hope he does have a big role here on this show. Speaking of building towards WrestleMania, Bray Wyatt actually won a match on this show. He beat Rhino. Quick match. And then as Wyatt grabs the mic and tells Matt Hardy to show himself the broken brilliance, the woken wonder. Yes, Matt Hardy appears on the Tron of Titan and says that if Wyatt wants to fight, again, there is only one place that can contain them. The Hardy compound. And you know what that means. It shows the video of the compound. Yes, Vanguard won. ET's coming back. Yes. And he will finally delete Bray Wyatt from our television sets. And it will be delightful at WrestleMania. This is exactly what it should be building to. Hardy family compound, WrestleMania. That's how you blow up this feud. This is what this feud should be building to. So I'm all for it. Boom, you got me excited. There you go. We then had the third, this is hard to believe, the third annual Mizzies here on Raw. Of course, this is a spoof of the Oscars. Hell, this was better than the Oscars, in my opinion. I don't watch the Oscars. Miz comes out, and he has a couple categories here. He gives out the award for the superstar who's the best at patting himself on the back. Talked about Seth Rollins bragging about, lasting 60 minutes in the Iron Man match, or the Gauntlet match on Raw, even though he lost. Kurt Angle for finally being a good father to Jason Jordan. Finn Balor for being the first ever Universal Champion, and then losing it within 24 hours. He said, sadly, neither of them is going to win, and it came down to a tie between Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. This is actually some funny stuff right here. Miz is just, like I said, the man's on a roll. What can you say as Intercontinental Champion? Gave out the worst Raw GM award for Kurt Angle for bringing his bastard son to Raw, for Kurt Angle for putting Rollins and Balor in the Elimination Chamber match, and then for Kurt Angle for not telling The Miz who his opponent will be at WrestleMania. And to note, to the surprise of nobody, Kurt Angle won. I would still love to see a match between Kurt Angle and The Miz. I don't know, the way they've been planting seeds here makes you wonder down the line if that is a possible match between the two. I'd love to see it take place at SummerSlam. I think that would be the right time, right place for that match, but we'll see. But as Miz is about to give out the Lifetime Achievement Award, Balor and Rollins interrupt him. This eventually leads to a 3-on-2 handicap match. Nice little match here between the Miztourage with the Miz taking on Balor and Rollins. Finn Balor and Seth Rollins, they're able to get the win here after Balor goes up for the coup de grace. Rollins tags himself in and hits the curb stomp on the Miz for the win. Kurt Angle comes down to the ring, or out to the stage, and makes the announcement of a triple threat match between the Miz, Finn Balor, and Seth Rollins. And this has potential to be one of the best IC championship matches in a while. And we have the two ladder matches. Last year we had the street fight. No, it wasn't a street fight. It was Dean Ambrose, Baron Corbin. Did not care for that at all. But this year, this is a potential sleeper on the WrestleMania card, which is shaping up very nicely indeed. Miz, Rollins, Balor for the Intercontinental Championship. I cannot wait for that match. That's going to be some good stuff right there. And then before I lose the rest of my voice, let's wrap things up here. Paul Heyman comes down to the ring. He cuts a great Paul Heyman promo. What more would you expect from this man, talking about, how Lesnar, he'll do whatever he wants. This title is Lesnar's, he owns it. He controls it. And he talks about, the Universal Championship is Lesnar's bitch. And he says, you're going to have to pry this championship from Lesnar's cold, dead hands. And I love the way that Heyman really puts over, the Universal Championship. He really did a great job of that here. And he says, next week on Raw, it's going to be Lesnar. It's going to be Reigns face-to-face in the ring. And you don't want to shoot with Paul Heyman, Roman Reigns. That was the biggest mistake that you could have made. Reigns gets down to the ring. He's serious. He says, tells Heyman to have some respect and pick up the championship. Reigns says, where's Lesnar? I thought he was going to show up. Where the hell is he? And he says, Lesnar really is a bitch, isn't he? All he's asking for is the champion to show up to work. And the people just want their champion to be there. And Reigns tells Heyman to tell Lesnar to come dressed next week, not for a promo, but for a fight. And that's how we go off the air for Monday Night Raw. Like I said, I thought this was a very good episode of Raw. I really like the way that they're building up this Reigns-Lesnar match. Easily, the build has already been better than 3 years ago at 31. That build sucked. It was absolutely terrible. Tug of War, give me a break. All I want is good build for this match. And so far, with the Reigns promo, what they did tonight to next week with Reigns and Lesnar in the ring, same time, same place, I'm looking forward to it. I really enjoyed Raw, and I'm going to give it a B+. B+ is my grade for Monday Night Raw tonight. This was a nice rebound episode from last week, which I thought was just average. Hopefully we continue to get episodes going into WrestleMania like this, as like I said, we are now coming up on 4 weeks till WrestleMania, and it will be here before you know it. So, guys, I want to say thank you all for tuning into this live Raw review. Be sure also not only to click my like and subscribe button and like this video as well, and be sure to subscribe to this channel here on youtube.com/DanielGuys412. Also, I uploaded a top 5 underrated WrestleMania of all time video, so be sure please to check that out. Give that some love. Watch that video, and that does it for this live Raw review. So until next time, guys, I will catch you guys in my next video, whenever that may be. So have a great night. I will catch you guys later on. So take care, and thanks for watching. See you guys.